Greg Ellis, and welcome to Redskin Review. This is our 9th show for the 2012 football season. It's being taped on Wednesday, October 17th. In this show, we're going to take a look back at the Redskins' 35-27 loss to Glen Estee in Week 8, and we'll look ahead to this week's game on the road against rival Winton Woods. With me, as always, Dan Albers, Coach Giesting. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Coach, this week you run against a team for the second week in a row where they were moving the ball big time on your defense. The offense scored some points, but boy, it's hard to win a game when you give up 35 points.
Yeah, we didn't play very good defense all night long. It was funny because we'd have a good first down, we'd have them second and long, and then we'd have a bad second down, they'd get third and short, and with the type of offense they run, they were able to convert too many first downs and keep the ball. I think they had it for 33 minutes. We're not going to win if that happens. And then, yeah, offensively we did move the ball, but we had 4 turnovers. And, it's hard to win if you're playing great defense if you turn over 4 times. And we still had a chance, late in the game and everything, but it's just way too many mistakes and poor tackling and we've been working on that all year. It's seems like the same theme every week when we come in and talk about it, and we just got to keep working at it. I don't know any other magic solutions other than to practice and hopefully the lights will click on pretty soon.
Dan and I were calling the game, and we had Steve Martin give us the stats, and he keeps time of possession too. And every quarter we're like, oh my gosh, listen to this one, 2 minutes to 10 minutes. It was incredible. Yeah. And Glen Estee ran 25 more plays than we did.
Yeah, we had like 40 plays right around there, and they were in the mid-60s. And when they're good, that's what they do to you. They keep the ball and control the clock, and then they had a good game plan. They played very well and played really hard, and they've got a great player in Victor Cave, and he's going to Toledo, and he was able to control the ball on the ground, running the belly play for him, and they had the ball, we didn't, and it's hard to score, and then we turn it over 4 times, makes it even worse. And then we had a couple, we had the special teams. We thought we might be able to get an onside kick and kick the ball, and it's spinning the wrong way and actually lose yardage on it. I don't know if you've ever seen that one.
Never, ever. We didn't know what the deal was. Was that really intended to be an onside kick?
Yeah. I mean, we had the ball on their 45.
All right,
the worst case it's going to be, it's on the 35, you think. But it goes backwards and gets on our side of the 50. I mean, it was just bad luck. And this team is we're shooting ourselves in the foot, but they also don't get any breaks. And sometimes you got to get lucky, and you need something to go your way, and we haven't been able to get that the last few weeks at all. And Turpin's played real well. Glen Estee played real well. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from them, but we've got to play better, and we've been working on it. We've had a good week of practice, and their attitudes are good, and they still want to improve and play better, and certainly we've got 2 tough games left with Winton Woods and Kings.
Seemed like every time that you guys got the offense on track, or seemed like it was going right there at the time, you end up shooting yourself in the foot. We talked about the 4 turnovers, and that was just obviously a killer. And you only punted the ball 1 time, but again, you only had it for 15.
Yeah, they really never stopped us. We stopped ourselves. I mean, I think one of the worst turnovers was just the quarterback sneak we fumbled on. We were going for it, and we would have had it. And Kevin's got a bad hand, and it's been bothering him for a couple weeks, and that may have contributed to it. And, after we threw the first interception, we actually got the ball back right away and we scored. So that one really didn't hurt us too bad because we got the ball right back and scored. But, the other fumble we had, Kamel had a bad fumble that hurt us as well. So, but the bottom line is if we play better defense and get off the field and give our offense more chances, we can overcome those 4 turnovers. But we were so bad on defense that we couldn't do anything on the offensive side to counteract that.
You're talking about the bad luck and all that stuff with this team. If you go back to the state championship team, you guys had a lot of luck on your side on that time. You're not taking anything away from the kids, but it seemed like the breaks went your way that year, and this year it's just not going your way.
Well, it's not, but you got to be able to make your own breaks too at times. And when you're fundamentally not doing things right on defense and not staying in your gap or missing tackles, that really hurts. And we're so inconsistent. We'll play really good a few plays, and then we'll just have a total breakdown, things like that. And we're working on it, and we're trying, and the kids want to get better. But you know, luck is involved in this game,
Right.
and you need a break every now and then, and we haven't been able to get those. And like you said, in 07, we got our share of breaks, and we've always said that. And no matter what you do success-wise in a season, when you have a great year, there's going to be some times when something falls your way. And if you look at in college football, whoever wins the national championship, something goes their
Right.
way,
Right.
helps them out. They get a break here or there, and you know, NFL's the same way. Sometimes, you know, just about any sporting contest is.
Your offense had 173 yards on the ground, about 6 yards a carry. It seemed like your line in the second half was doing a much better job, and it was getting a little bit stronger too.
Yeah, they were doing well. We had an injury. We lost Andrew with a hyperextended elbow early in the game, and so Brian Pollock went in for him, and did a good job. But you know, we lose a starting lineman that really hurt us, and he's out again this week. So that's you know, not going to help our situation against a good team. But you know, we were able to run the ball effectively. The coaches had some good schemes, and Kamel ran well, Kevin ran well, just holding on to the football.
And Kevin Rogers had a beautiful pass, a 42-yard pass to Jared Cook that was really nice. But after that, it seemed like they had trouble connecting.
Yeah, you kind of missed him a little bit, and you know, it's always a compilation of things of what's going wrong and what time in the game. And Glen Este's corners were backing up, and they weren't going to let Jared get behind him anymore, and it made it tough on us.
And they were doubling him, obviously. They had two guys on one side, obviously.
Yeah, they started to double him a little bit, and we tried to, by formation, do some things to get him out of that, and had a little success with that. But you know, it just wasn't our night.
You had Dex Bard had a couple of nice catches, and one was for a first down to keep the drive going.
Yeah, Dex is doing all right. He's doing fine. He makes some big catches. You know, against Loveland, he had a really nice game, and he just, you know, he's improving. He's getting better. He's a senior, but he's still getting better and improving, and you know, he's working at it. So that's all you can ask.
And that's one thing that you know, as this goes on, and that's what you want out of your kids, obviously, is, you know, there are going to be some mistakes, as you're saying, but as long as you're seeing improvement out of each kid from the beginning of the year to the end, that's all you would want as a coach, I'm sure.
We do. We talk a lot to our guys about playing hard and playing with great effort, and some of them are still learning how to do that on a consistent basis. You know, they'll be really good for 3 or 4 plays, and then they'll take a play off. And you know, the great players that we've had were guys that always played hard, guys like Andrew Norwell and Brandon Bornhauser and Kevin Kripe and Greg Manns and things like that, and even before them, guys like Kevin Chapman and stuff. And it goes way back in the history of Anderson football.
Right.
Guys that just played really hard all the time, and we've got guys that are still learning how to do that. And some of it is youth. I mean, when you're playing a lot of juniors, which we are right now on defense, we have a fair amount of juniors playing. They're not used to that, and you know, that's something that we got to keep working on.
Glen Este only completed 2 passes all night, but both of them were for
good
touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's a typical Glen Este team, and they don't pass the ball much. They ran the ball as much as they could, but were you surprised on those touchdown plays?
You know, I don't know. The kids, I mean, he's a good athlete out there, the kid that caught him, number 8. And
big, tall guy.
Quarterbacks, you know, he's a returning player, so, I mean, he can throw the football a little bit. They just choose not to that much. And, you know, that's their game plan, play defense and try to control the clock. And, you know, they've been in a lot of games till halftime. I mean, they were 0-0 with Turpin at the half and got worn down. And they were getting tired against us, but we just didn't have, we were behind, you know, and because of our mistakes and things and because of the plays they made. Not really surprised. I mean, everybody can throw the ball a little bit.
I tell you, with the 4 turnovers and the way they were running the ball, the defense was on that field for a long time. Glen Este converted 4 out of 5 fourth down plays.
Yeah, we were trying to sub guys in, and so we wouldn't get so tired. And some of those 4th downs were 4th and 1, and I mean, it's hard to stop people, and 4th and 1 and stuff like that. And it's like I said, I keep going back to it, but it's during a football game when you can't get your defense off the field and you turn the ball over on offense, it's really hard to win. And we've got to be able to play better in all phases of the game.
You mentioned Victor Cave. He had a good game running the ball. They also have 2 other running backs that did very well. Jordan Harris he had good speed on the outside. It was hard to match his speed on the outside.
Yeah, he was. He was good. He's a good back for them. He did a nice job, and they did a good job with their buck sweep scheme and their tosses and their jets and stuff. They hurt us with, and some of that again. We'd miss 1 tackle, and then that's 20 more yards. And then other times we'd play it really well, and it's just that's hard when you watch the film and you see really good stuff, and you compliment the kids and show them, and then the next play the same, or the next time the situation occurs, it's totally different for whatever reason. And it's just hard to figure out sometimes.
It goes back to what you just now said, playing hard every play.
I mean, if you play hard every play, you got a chance, and we're still trying to do that.
Dan and I were surprised during the game. They had Tyler Burdick, son of Ty Burdick, kicking off. We were surprised he didn't kick it deep, except for the last one. They were all like pooch kicks over the middle. Was that by design, you think?
I'm sure it was. They didn't want to kick to us. They didn't want to give us any big plays. And either in the kicking game, and that's the other, and just on offense, they had their corners back. They were, Jared got behind them once, but they weren't going to let that happen anymore. And that they wanted to make us drive the football, and if we wouldn't have made mistakes, we would have been able to do that. But we turned the ball over, fumbled it, and threw interceptions.
Well, I know that he's got a pretty good foot. I know that.
Yeah,
I've seen him, and I was kind of surprised that I thought that he could get it to the end zone, so I was kind of surprised at that. And I guess, like you said, they just didn't want to take a chance.
Yeah, I don't think they did.
Yeah, you had a great catch by Von Haney on that special teams on that play. That was obviously by design.
Yeah, Coach Newton saw that, and it was the point of the game we had to make something happen, and we were able to. And AJ made a great kick, and I think it was AJ.
Yeah,
Penley pooched it right in there, and in a big hole that they had that we saw, and John went down and got the football, so he made a great play.
He got hit on. Was he okay? Did he just land on the ball?
Yeah, he's just sore. His back's bothering him a little bit, and I think he just got hit, landing on the ball, whatever it was. But he's not a real big kid.
Right.
He's 130 pounds.
Yeah,
so, he plays really hard. Tough guy.
But you did make progress on one thing, the penalties. I think you only had a couple, so that was a good sign.
We were better on the penalties, but it's. Like I said, we get better in one thing one week, and then we slide backwards, and it's the inconsistency has been very, very frustrating.
Well, after that big win with Loveland, and you come back, and then you play Turpin, and then Glen Estee. I mean, you said you had a good week of practice. How's the kids and everybody else morale? Is it pretty decent? I'm sure that they're probably not used to the losing part here like this.
I mean, they're disappointed, obviously, and so are the coaches, but. They've come back, and I think as the week's gone on, we've gotten better every day, and they're still joking around and having fun, enjoying coming to practice, and all those things, which is a good sign. And,
right.
It's not like a bunch of guys are skipping practice and not trying and coming up with excuses, and
right.
We just got to keep working at it.
You mentioned Andrew got hurt. What other injuries were there from this game that might impact us Friday night?
Well, like I said, Andrew hyperextended his elbow. Carson Ayers has a bad hand. He's had it for a couple weeks, and this made it even worse. His wrist is bothering him. I think he's going to play Friday, but he hadn't practiced all week. We'll know more tomorrow. And then we lost Austin Facito to a hand injury as well in the JV game.
I was going to say, because I remember him getting hurt the other night.
Yeah, no, he was
fine
on
JV
Friday.
Game.
And he's been doing a really nice job on special teams.
Yeah,
now that hurts us on special teams. And then we had Von Haney's back was bothering him. Alex Payne got dinged up in the JV game as well. And we've got some dings this week, and there'll be some guys out. And hopefully somebody can step up.
Not a good time to come up.
No,
there's never a good time, but especially not this week.
No, they're good.
Offensive, defensive, special teams players of the week.
Offensive player was Carson Ayers. He's been playing with that bad hand, and he's done a nice job at center for us. Defensive player was Josh Carell. Josh is usually our leading tackler, coming out of the secondary, and then Augie Murphy, sophomore, that's on a lot of special teams. Was a special teams player.
We got 2 games left. I have to think Carell's going to block at least 1 kick. I mean, he's coming so close.
He's got 1 so far this year. And he's close. He's real close. And he if he gets a little faster in the off season, maybe next year he'll get a few more of them.
How did the freshmen and JV teams do this week?
Freshmen played Elders B team and won 26-6. So that was a good win for them.
Good.
And JV got beat 33-32 on Saturday.
Wow.
And couldn't make their 2-point conversions on a couple plays, after a couple touchdowns, which hurt them.
Wow, 33-32.
Yeah, a lot of points.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and start talking about this week's game at Winton Woods. Winton Woods has been our big rival for the last 10 years or so. Every one of the games, no matter what the season is, they're always exciting games, and I'm sure this week's no exception. And this is the team that's been having their ups and downs. They were riding high, then they lost the last 2 games. Of course, this past week was the Elder. That's no slouch, but tell us a little bit about them.
Well, they're extremely athletic. They've got good size up front. They've got a great player on the defensive line, Cage, who's got a lot of offers. Got some other really just talented kids. They're healthy finally. They've been beat up for a few weeks, and everybody says, well, they lost to Loveland. Well, they had 5 guys out, and they had 5 turnovers, so that made a difference. And they played Elder toe-to-toe last week, and were moving the ball, and got beat by a touchdown. But that game was up in the air till in the fourth quarter. So they lost to Lakota East, I think, earlier in the year.
Yeah.
But they've played an extremely hard schedule because they're an independent team now, and they're definitely battle tested, and they'll be ready for us.
Against Loveland, they were missing their quarterback, I believe.
Their quarterback was out, and Loveland did a nice job. Had a good game plan, was able to run the ball on them, and played really well. And so it's just funny the way teams are in our league this year. We beat Loveland, and then we lose to Turpin and Glen Estee, and then Walnut Hills beats Loveland, and we didn't know how that happened. And Loveland's got a big game this week with Turpin, and Loveland's very, very dangerous because they're physical and they've got a good defense.
And talk a little bit about their offense. They're led by Nick Grissom. He has 10 touchdowns. Talk a little bit about what they do, and it's the same thing.
Well, they're running the option. They run, veer option and midline option, and they're really good at it. They're throwing the ball a little more effectively than they have in the past. So again, it's an explosive offense, but it can also be a ball control offense too, because they can grind it out and control the clock on you. Defensively, they're going to be coming after us and playing some man-to-man, and they're big and physical and can run really well. So it's definitely a challenge. Got a really good kicker, special teams. So they're really solid. I mean, they're one of the top Division II teams in the state, even though they've got 3 losses. They're one of the top Division II teams in the state. And we've got Trotwood in our region, and Turpin and Winton Woods are all quality teams.
Their team speed again is phenomenal again.
Yeah, they're extremely fast, and I've got some just great players.
And they're I believe when I last saw, they were in the top 3 or 4, weren't they, in the ranking in the
playoffs? I think they're 4th or 5th.
Yeah,
but they're in a solid position. They're getting some points from some teams they beat earlier, and I can't remember who they finish up with week 10. Might be Milford. I'm not even sure.
They go in a new league next year? Is Winton Woods?
Oh, it's not Milford. No, they're not. They're not in a new league. They're
still going to be independent.
Oh, they're still independent.
Yeah. So maybe if they haven't played Glen Estee, it might be Glen Estee week 10.
I think it is Glen Estee.
Yeah.
Because had almost a similar schedules. They got Kings this week.
So they've got they've got some points out there to get you. Our 3 wins, Glen Estee's 4 wins. So they're in pretty good shape for the playoffs.
Obviously, we always talk about this keys to the game. We always bring it up. It's probably got to be turnovers and trying to control the.
Yeah, I mean they're talented, and we're not going to match up with their speed, but I think we can move the ball. But we got to take care of the ball, we can't give them anything easy in the kicking game at all. The returners are dangerous. They block kicks this year, so we can't get a kick block. We can't let them have a big return. Like I said, we can't turn the ball over. We've got to be efficient on offense. And defensively, we've got to play really good assignment football against their option. And we've got to tackle in space, and that's been a concern this year. So I'm asking for a lot this week. But if we do those things, it'll be a good ball game.
All right, we'll talk a little bit now about the Alumni Association. We talk about it each week, and it's something that we've started from the scratch, and pretty proud of where it's developed and how it's come along. And we've got something here that another one, and another former player, and Nate Cosman played, and what a phenomenal player he was, and he just signed up. So you can't get these footballs you can contact myself or Coach Giesting or John Raymond, and we're going to try to fill that wall up if we can. And it's just, again, as this goes on, we're going to have the golf outing again. This will just continue to grow and grow.
Yep. Got a lot of guys supporting us. Players stop by all the time. We had Matt Pasillo in the other day helping out at practice. He's home from UC, and he was on our graduated in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
And just, your average high school player, but he had a great career for us.
Right.
Great kid, and it was good to see him.
So again, if you want any information on that, you can go to the actual site. It's www.ahsfaa.com, or contact Jeff, myself, or John Raymond.
Okay, let's go ahead and wrap it up. And thank all the folks to make this broadcast and the football and the games themselves possible. The folks here at Anderson Community Television, we appreciate their help for their use of their equipment, their air times, and whatnot. Thanks to John Raymond, who has worn about 6 hats this year.
Absolutely.
He filled in for me. He filled in for Danny. He's filled in all over the place, and he produces the show here tonight, and as always, and he does a great job. What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
I said John might want to fill in for me.
And thanks to the other guys who help us. Steve Martin, when he helps us with the stats, it really adds a lot to the game and keeps us posted on how the game's developing. And Tim Huntington that does the camera, and he does a great job as always. Those guys have been doing this from the start for 20 years. So we appreciate their help. And of course, Denise White.
Love her.
For everything
Love
that
her when she brings that food.
We do appreciate it.
Huge.
So another Wentwoods game this week, and we look forward to bringing that game. And as always, if you can't make a game, tell those that can't make it up there, if they're out of town or relative or a sister or brother. We do all the games live on usbnsports.com. And I think we'll be okay for this week.
Yeah, we are. I want to thank the athletic director at Witten Woods. They got a great facility, so they got a visitor side. Yeah. So we're pretty much on our own on that side, which is great. So he knew that we've done this before, so he kind of knew right away, and he let us go in. So just want to thank Witten Woods for allowing us to do the game.
Absolutely. We get cooperation wherever we go. It's
it
really
really
nice.
is neat.
You guys are big time.
Yes. We're big time.
It's like when ESPN comes to town. Me and Danny show up. All right, well, Coach, good luck this week.
Thanks.
For Dan Albers and Jeff Giesting, I'm Greg Ellis. Thanks for joining us on Redskin Review.